say it, Lurb? It's 6-7? Or do I have to do the whole like 6-7? 6-7. Oh Lord. Just extend the N. Alright guys. Welcome to this video. As you can see, it's called the 6-7 build. Sometimes 8. Yeah. Mega brain rot. Alright guys, mega brain rot. I got it. Trying to speak the lingo here. So, before you start questioning things, what's going on right now is that Dio freezes enemies. So that's how all of this kind of begins. Is Dio freezes enemies. So as you can see, as soon as Dio spawns, he's like frozen. We'll wait till he spawns again. He loses 5% damage permanently for every 1 second remaining frozen. So to confirm this, we can kind of see that, like, hey, his damage is going down, and that's most likely by the actual amount for every second he remains frozen. So that freeze interaction, don't know if it's a bug, don't know if it like puts him in like some sort of time stop thing where he's just not targetable. But Lucci seems to just not care. But it's not just Lucci, it's Ubel, it's any unit that can actually hit the base. That's literally it. Because the base is open right now. The base is targetable. So, as you can see, when the freeze doesn't work properly, guess what happens? Dio's targetable, and he just gets targeted. So there's a good 12-second run example of what happens when the freeze actually doesn't work on Dio, and he's able to just kind of move forward. So, you know, what you have here is a combo of a unit with freeze and then just an insanely strong unit with long range, and he's just able to smack them. So, credits for this build to Blade. Blade was one of the first people to actually talk to me about this build and just kind of show me the interaction. It kind of went over my head in the beginning that Dio freezes all enemies just on spawn. So you could probably play like Capitalist Dio or something to make this more consistent. We actually can try that at the end here. I think that'd be interesting. So yeah, this build 6-7 and sometimes 8. That's what this is going to be called. So for the team, max upgrade Lucci. Alright, so for this interaction for Lucci, so let's say Dio doesn't get frozen and you have to fight him anyway. The reason you put Lucci in the first slot is because for some reason, when Lucci's in slot 1, Lucci actually does absorb everyone a lot more consistently compared to being on the last slot. That's what I've found that works for me, because before I was looking at some of my friends and they were getting high damage numbers and I didn't understand why my Lucci wasn't powering up. It had to do with slot placement. I think him spawning before everyone else in the order kind of helps. The way the game works is that it'll spawn from left to right, but upgrade from right to left. So, little tip there. You don't upgrade anything else. This is just kind of the team that you bring with you to do this. So we'll call it 6-7 and 8. So, one more run here, and then we can jump to show the exact build. And then we'll do one test with Dio Capitalist, because I'm actually curious if it's duplicate that's making him reality freeze twice in a row, or is just maybe Capitalist is better with like send cooldown to really get that freeze going. Because then it would be 2 separate freezes, right? Let's see real quick. Alright, so for the actual units, you have the star of the show, Lucci. Actually, Blade put me onto this. He said just use C speed. Maybe you can go a little higher. What happens here is Lucci likes to bounce around when he's too fast, so having a little lower speed helps him out. So for his equipment, you can increase his range. I found a balance of increased range, and this helps out a lot. A big deal was I tried out just going max range, but then there were times when freeze somehow doesn't freeze Dio and you just get stuck and you still have to fight him. But then you don't have the fast ability cooldown, so it kind of works against you. So this I found was a good balance build-wise. For Uta, this is what I have going for her, is just range. Larger the range, make it a little easier to spawn. Infinite riches. We have Fern. Fern has Soul of the Undying. This is something I'm playing around with. You don't need to have it. Don't freak out about this one. This was to see that if the ally dies when he gets consumed, can she respawn? I really haven't even confirmed if this interaction works, but it's something I wanted to try. Then we have Send cooldown for her just to make her spawn as quick as possible, because she really is just fodder for Lucci. Alright. Then you have Dio. Dio, we have him like this. We could probably just cut his cost down. I'm going to try one different build with Dio at the very end. So this is just what I'm using at the moment with Duplicate. Duplicate might not be the answer, might be Capitalist. I'll have to try it out. Hair curls, black coat. Just range increase a little bit for him and some damage. I mean, at most you could probably go for range. I'll show you how to put the multiple souls on as well. That's not a big deal. I know a lot of folks ask me about that one. For this one again, Send cooldown. He's just fodder for Lucci. Just nothing else but food. So, alright. And then let's go to the actual curses, so you can see the curses. Lucci's, this one's pretty cool. I got this one on first try. I think all that matters is the ability cooldown. I don't think you need to have the range. I would ideally go for double cooldown, but for right now we'll play around with the range. I don't think it's a big deal. But range for Uta, 15%. Fern, don't have anything. Dio over heaven, 15% range. This is my fodder Dio that I was using for the quest, so don't worry about Griffith. Same setup right now. I think I'm gonna go for double cooldown in the future for Griffith. And then for Stark, just movement speed. I mean, again, the curses for these other units are really irrelevant. All that matters is probably Lucci and Lullaby. Just focus on the ability cooldown and then range for Lullaby. I just feel like more range for Lullaby for coverage, so we don't miss anything for buffs. Alright, and then the one question that gets asked all the time is when it comes down to putting on multiple souls. So real quick, all you're going to do is put the team that you want that doesn't have the souls, and what you do is just unequip all. And then you'll go in and you'll say, hey, I want this soul, and you put that soul on. And you put the other infinite riches on both the units that you're going to use. And then once you go back, you just go here to your loadout and you load the team in. And that's it. It's pretty simple. This has been around forever now. It's not a big deal. It just lets you play with more souls. You don't have to put more money souls. I just do it for Lucci. I don't know. It's kind of irrelevant as well, but something to test out. Alright guys, if you made it this far in the video, don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe. We're going to do one more test here. I do want to try it out with Capitalist Dio, see how much of a difference it makes. So, yeah, we're going to try it out real quick with Capitalist Dio. I'm just curious right now. There we go. Perfect. We're at 200k. So let's go back real quick so we can test out Capitalist Dio. Oh, wait. For Capitalist Dio, just for this test, we would have to just shrink his send cooldown, really. That's kind of like the whole point here. So let's just put on, is it purple boots? Purple boots. We can put purple boots. We can put Chainsaw Devil. We can put send cooldown on crown. And then, yeah, that's good. And then we can just lower his cost with Soul of Riches. So this doesn't give me a hard time. And then we'll go to upgrades. And then we'll go give him lower increased cost but lower cooldown. I think that's probably good. And then for Dio, We can go into details and drop the cost. I feel like just dropping cost. Yeah, 0. We get them to 0 cost. Great. So we'll try it out right now real quick with capitalist Dio. Yeah, Ascension's very good for Swarm, compared to Swarm. If you open one Ascension capsule compared to Swarm, it's like 3x the amount of rerolls you get compared. So we'll show you just kind of what's in the game right now. A lot of it just has to do with Dio freezing and then Lucci just straight targeting the base. That's it. Somehow the freeze interaction like puts him either in another dimension and just hits the base straight up. At least that's how I've been getting it with Dio, so we'll see. Oh, okay. So he didn't get frozen. So duplicate increases my chance of the freeze. He's not frozen. Look. Hold on. Hold on. This is good. This is good for science. So the odds of him getting frozen are much better when 2 Dios are out. Is that what it is? Because he's not getting frozen now, and there's no problem. Okay. So for some reason, duplicate Dio is freezing the boss, no problem. That's weird. He's just not landing it right now. Freezes enemies. Very interesting. Okay. So the Dio freeze is only proccing afterwards, and you see the reality override is not proccing on him. So like this, we're getting 12-second clears. Okay, so he's not putting him in another reality. So I mean, the guy goes straight to hitting him no matter what. Like, that's it. We'll do one more real quick. This is just for science, and then we'll go back, and then we'll go back to duplicate on Dio. So again, he's just not getting frozen. I wonder why that is not working the same way. Huh? That's interesting. Yeah, I guess the odds or something. Interesting. Okay. You know, we didn't even get one freeze. It happened one time, I think when we were using Sovereign Dio. And Sovereign Dio managed to freeze him as well. However, the issue is, like, this is just not getting any freezes right now. So we can go auto reroll real quick. Let's take off Seraph and Capitalist real quick. The dupe Sovereign is just in case we get a double, I guess. Let's go back to duplicate, and we'll run it one more time. So real quick while we're rolling, I think for the developers, I mean, I think my recommendation is to go back to what you had in Gilgamesh. I thought the Gilgamesh one is well done. And I think, not that this is poorly done, I think more so like, the Gilgamesh one meets your intention of they have to fight the boss all the time. I think like this, players are just able to use abilities to play around with stuff. When you give us, 200 range, 180 range, like, you're very easily, like, the name of the game is clear as quick as you can. That's how farming works in the first place. You're gonna min-max, you're gonna optimize. So somehow the reality override for Dio over Heaven just puts him in another dimension or something that's doing what it needs to do. Yeah, pretty interesting. Yep. So give it a second. What we'll do is we'll pull for dupe. We'll do one more clear and then call it for the end of the video. Alright. Sovereign before dupe. Great. We can leave him, I think, same build. I don't think the build matters, so 0 cost literally does nothing other than help, but this should have, I think, reduced cost. I don't think it hits true 0, right? Should be low. Dude, I was thinking about that. I was like, you could take any one cost, like one placement unit, and make it 4 placement with dupe cap. Yeah, so there's the reality overwrite, and he's just locked in. That's it. Boom, locked. Something about this affix where he's reality overwritten, just frozen, is what does it. So, pretty interesting. Yep. So again, guys, just so I can speak the lingo here, this is the 6-7, sometimes 8 build. Okay, and here's what happens is when Dio doesn't actually get frozen here by the other Dios, he moves out and you have to fight him with Lucci. So that's just how it works. The replacement for Lucci, Ubel. If you need a replacement for Lucci, you can use Ubel because her damage just scales well. So, all right, guys. If you liked the video, if you appreciated all the details that we put into it, what we talked about, just like how everything works, let me know in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. We hit already 5,000, almost 5,200 subs at this point, and yeah, pretty awesome to see. We're at 5,199. Pretty cool. I appreciate all the support. Thank you guys for tuning in, and you guys have a good rest of your day. Enjoy the build.